Well, the Columbus Bottle Show was a big success, as those of you who were there saw. Uh, Sold quite a bit of stuff, mostly commoner stuff that I dig all the time anyway, so I don't mind taking cheap prices for most of it, and bought a few things. A man was holding this for me for quite some time, so I'm glad to finally bring it home. It's a 3V Cola crate from the Carter's Beverages Company out of Middletown, Ohio. Didn't even know that Middletown had 3V Cola bottles, unless this is a crate that they, the Carter's Beverages bought from the 3V Cola company and then added their own name to it. I don't know. It's always looking out for a 3V Colas from Middletown if anyone finds one. Next is another go with Carter's Beverages bottle opener. I still like drinking pop from the glass bottles today, so I actually have been in need of a bottle opener. Either it's a old or new one, but I have this now, so I can put it in use today, and it's a local one, and only paid $5 for it, so it's not a bad, wasn't a bad deal. And here's an upgrade. I actually have one of these Carter's Beverages with the diamond on them, but the paint was in really bad shape. Middletown, Ohio, of course. And the lid, I don't think goes with it, because it says Suncrest, not Carter's, so of course, Middletown did have a Suncrest. I don't know if their lids, or caps, I should say, have Middletown stamped on them anywhere or not. Probably not, I guess. But anyway, that was a pretty good deal on that. And I also had a pretty good deal on this too. It's a Tyson's Jersey Dairy out of Middletown, Ohio. I actually know nothing about this bottle. I mean, it looks like it's 1920s or 30s. Other than that, I have no idea where the dairy was located. Never heard of it. Probably was a shorter-lived dairy that sold out to Avalon or one of the larger dairies. I know there's a quart of these out there, but I don't know if they have a half pint or not. They probably do. So that was it for my personal collection, and well, it was well worth it to me, because most of the time when I go to these bottle shows, I just find a few common bottles from Middletown, and that's it. But then again, I actually got these from people I knew. Well, one guy I didn't really know very well, but he's been holding on to he held on to the crate for me for a while, then another guy held on to these two for a while, and he's a well-known, respected dealer. And this one, actually, I didn't know the guy had this for sale, but someone told me about it being on his table with some others, so for $5 I had to jump on that. At the end of the show, when I was packing up, I had a guy approach me with a crate of bottles, and he offered me a really, really good deal on the lot. So this is the lot here. It's not huge, but it's got some neat stuff in it. So first is this Hicks Capudine for all headaches, colds, crip, ECT. I've dug quite a few of those. They're pretty common, but I actually don't think I brought one to the show to sell myself, so now I'd have one available. And then here's this one. It's a home brewing company out of Cleveland, Ohio. Machine-made crown top. So probably 1915, Prohibition. And then there's this. It's only ACL soda that was in the group. Red Rock Cola. It's from Ravenna, Ohio. I don't know where that is, but I would say it's northeast Ohio somewhere, since that's where a lot of these other bottles are from. Lions. New York. Calf Heron for the hair. I've dug these before. I don't dig them all the time, but I do dig them. I've dug these also. RRR, Radway and Company, New York. Something about Congress. This one does have a burst bubble. It actually looks like a hole from the video, but it's actually just a burst bubble, so it's not a hole, but it's pretty bad. I don't know if it was broken during the tumbling process or not, but either way, I could get a buck or two for it as is. I don't know. And there's this one. The front embossing is just so weak, it's not even worth trying to read. Weeks and Potter, Boston, Mass. It does say Sanford's. That's the only part I can make out. Everything else is just so weak, it's not even worth trying. And there's this one. Jacob Worth and Company, Providence, Rhode Island. It's a nice uncolored amethyst. Beer or soda, I don't know which. It's about the size of a champagne beer, a little large for a soda, but I don't know about, I don't know how the bottlers made their bottles in that area, because a lot of the bottles are, or were made differently than they were around here. I'll get to one in a second. Actually, I'll make it my next one, so I'll do this a little out of order. Here's an example. It's a Smith's Bottling Company, South Allentown, Pennsylvania. Bottling Company suggests soda, but it's like it's a beer-shaped soda with a mug base, which is really unusual around here, but I guess that's just normal up in that area. There's some hutches with mug bases around here, but I don't think I've ever seen a soda with a true blob top that's not a hutch with a mug base. So, I don't know. It also has that lady's leg neck to it, which... So yeah, I don't know of any beers like that, or sodas in Ohio. Anyway, next is this SL beer. I didn't know nothing about it until I just happened to look at the base. L. Schlather Brewing Company out of Cleveland, Ohio. Most Cleveland bottles are low value, but I've never seen this one. But there's a lot of them I haven't seen. I've only found like maybe one or two down here. And then this one's a really odd looking one. It says Ratite Pasteurized Laboratories of America Rat Virus. It does have a chip, but it's still a kind of an oddity bottle, so someone may want it just because of that. And these must be common because I see them on eBay all the time for sale. Mrs. Potter's Hygienic Supply Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. It's kind of weird that this person dug one where he's at, but I haven't dug one, and I've dug quite a few holes in the Cincinnati area. I mean, it's not like it's any earlier, probably like 1900s or so. Early 1900s. Anyway, this is a Dr. Albert Conrad's Allsberger Tropfen, so it's different than the Dr. August Hamburger Tropfen, so I don't even know what these Tropfens are. Guess I'll have to look them up. And then there's this here. J.H. Robinson, St. John, NB, whatever that stands for. 1876, Cleveland, Ohio. 1882. I've never seen a bottle with two dates on them like that, besides the Dr. M.M. Fenner's People's Remedies Backache Cure. So that's kind of cool. It's an Ohio bottle, too. But Cleveland's probably the lowest value high bottles, but that's still a neat one. I think that one would sell for sure just because of the fact that it has those dates. And I've dug these before, or, well, maybe not I've dug one, but I've at least bought one in a lot. John C. Baker and Company cod liver oil, Philadelphia. And it had an applied top too, so it's got some age to it. This one looks really old. I mean, I could just tell by the base there. That one, if it was 10 years older, it could have been Pownell. And it also has that really cool looking wing on the neck right there. I don't think I've dug a bottle like that before. Dr. D.H. Seeley's Liquid Catarrh Remedy. I don't know what town this is from, but it's an early one. It has to be at least 1870s or 1880s. Yeah, I mean, with the base, that makes me think 70s, but you never know with these. Some of these early bottles, 1860 to 1880, they all look about the same to me. It's not until I start seeing Pownells that I know that they're at least 1860s. But yeah, that's a really neat one. And last is just these two. This is a nice applied top iron Pownell. Guy tumbles his own bottle, so he tumbled the Pontel off, but I could tell it was iron Pownell. I don't know why my camera is not focusing like it should, but they're starting to. May this way be better. There it is. But yeah, it's a really crude early cylinder. Then here's a Hazard and Caswell Chemist from Newport, Rhode Island. I actually have one of these bottles. I didn't realize it though. I guess it's Newport, Rhode Island. I always thought they were Newport, Kentucky. But yeah, this is a variant I've never seen. They come in blue squares, amber squares, and I guess these large rectangular bottles. So yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good deal, and I don't know, I guess could use a profit to fund a digging trip maybe, because I still haven't found anywhere good to dig around here, really, just some random small spots. This guy must be a really successful digger, because he said he dug these himself. And these bottles have some really good age to them. I mean, a lot of them are at least 1880s, and this one here has to be at least 1860s, being iron Pownell. So, I don't know if he's digging them in a dump or privy or what, but he's doing pretty good where he's at. So, yeah, I guess that covers a lot. I normally don't buy to resell, but I mean, he knew he was giving me a deal and he didn't want to take them home, so paid the price he was asking. Most other people trying to sell me stuff that's either not even worth the price they're asking, or after all the time and effort I put into it, I'm pretty much going to break even with what I paid for the stuff, so it's not even worth the effort. But this is a pretty good deal. So, always looking out for deals like this. But yeah, it was a pretty good show. Sold all kinds of stuff. Mostly just commoner stuff I dig up all the time anyway. And bought these three and the crate for my personal collection, and even bought a lot to resell. So that was a pretty good show. So thanks to Brad, Roger, and them for putting it on, and thanks to all those who came out for attending and being part of it. That is it. Later.